I've decoded the hidden messages in the stars, read the tea leaves, picked up some tarot cards, and I think I may have just figured out exactly how this season's gonna go. I'm Ty, and these are my totally kinda sorta maybe accurate, but probably not, but you never know predictions for the 2016-2017 football season. Let's start with the AFC West, or what I'd like to think of as the Death of Superman division. The Denver Broncos are the reigning Super Bowl champs, but much like Superman defeating Doomsday to save the day, our Super Broncos must retreat to their Kryptonian resurrection pods to heal from an offseason that has left them broken and bruised. And while I feel like Trevor Homo Simeon will prove to be a sufficient specimen at the quarterback position, I fear he will be nothing more than a link on the evolutionary chain that will eventually fall to the more evolved Paxton Lynch. I envision Lynch rising from the ashes of a mostly lost season, much like Black Suit Mullet Superman to save the day. But until that day comes, the cyborg Superman Chiefs should devour the now open division and claim the AFC West crown, with Oakland playing the part of Steel, who will just sort of hang around and not accomplish much. As for the Chargers, they should finish the season with more losses than the amount of children that Philip Rivers has, which is kind of insane considering how fruitful his loins are. Let's stay in the West because it's fun. So fun, in fact, that they made a movie about how much fun it is. The NFC South looks to fall victim to Aryan supremacy. No, wait, not that kind of Aryan. I'm talking about Bruce Arians' Cardinals, who should claim the NFC West title once again. I envision the Seahawks coming in second and claiming a wild card spot because those guys are essentially zombies that can't be vanquished. The newly transplanted Rams should earn themselves the third spot with the 49ers rounding out the division. Ultimately, come January, though, everyone will just have to come to the stark realization that Arians wins again. Speaking of racism, let's jump to the NFC East where the Washington Red... Wait, I think I have a solution. The Washington Redskins... See how easy your problem is to fix, Dan Snyder? Will claim the East because I guess somebody has to win that division, and the Giants, Cowboys, and Eagles seem to be completely preoccupied with battling for mediocrity. But look on the bright side, Cowboys fans. At least the Rangers have a great chance of winning the World Series this year. Speaking of Dallas, why are they still in the East? Would it make more sense, geographically, to ship them to the NFC South? Segways! The Super Bowl runner-up Panthers will have a slightly less than desirable season. I believe if Atlanta can stay healthy, they'll claim the NFC South, with the Panthers trailing not far behind and making it into the playoffs. The Saints should have a better year, but I'm not going to waste any more words on them. And the Buccaneers will be plundering nothing but personal sorrow this year. The AFC North, as per usual, will be dominated by Red Rockets, Red Rifles, and non-London-based Big Bens. Cincinnati and Pittsburgh should make their way into the playoffs, which, for whatever reason, almost always delivers a critical hit to the Bengals season. Doesn't really matter who they're playing against. Every other team has a golden gun, it seems like. The Ravens will have another ho-hum season, and Cleveland, poor, sweet Cleveland, will try to forfeit the rest of their season 3 weeks in. I honestly feel bad for the Browns. LeBron brought a title to Cleveland, seemingly using the real-world equivalent of a spirit bomb, charged by the hopes and dreams of Clevelanders, to destroy the competition and hoist the title. But now, all that desperate championship energy in Cleveland is gone. Actually, maybe the city's plight comes from a higher power. Have you ever seen that bumper sticker that says, "If God's not a Broncos fan, why are the sunsets orange?" Which is kind of funny to think about because orange wasn't even on the original Broncos uniform. And it's not like God descended from above and hand-delivered the colors orange and blue to the Broncos like he did the Ten Commandments to Moses. But with that bumper sticker in mind, I think we need to make one for Cleveland that says, "Know how I know God hates the Browns? Because their primary color is the same shade as poop." Green Bay and a returning Jordy Nelson, the engine that seemingly powers Aaron Rodgers, will claim the northern tundra that is the NFC North. The Vikings were posed to have another decent year, but sadly, Teddy Bridgewater's knee woke up one day and said to itself, "You know what? Screw this life. I choose death." Also, don't make the same mistake I did and Google tibiofemoral dislocation because, well, just don't. It's awful. I'm actually scheduling a surgery to remove both of my knees just so they can't randomly betray me. But fret not, Vikings fans. Your playoff dreams aren't completely dead. With the acquisition of Sam, I've never been injured Bradford, they should be able to... no, just no. Their playoff dreams are over. This leaves the door open for the Lions to prove that they can succeed without a nefarious Decepticon on their team, and I'm pretty sure the Bears have already gone into hibernation. The Jets have a prime opportunity to win the AFC East with Tom Brady serving hard time for deflating balls, and, come on, they re-signed Ryan Fitzpatrick. That guy's beard has so many magical properties in it that they should claim the top spot in the division. Just look at it. I mean, that thing is so magnificent. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Jesus secretly worshipped it. The Patriots, once Brady has served his sentence, should claim a wildcard spot. And do we even need to talk about the Dolphins and Bills? No? Awesome. Let's move on. Last and certainly least is the AFC South.
Brock.
Osweiler will prove to be sufficient enough to lead the Texans to an AFC South title, with Homo Simeon's distant evolutionary ancestor, Andrew Neanderthal Luck, and his Colts nipping at their heels throughout this season. We'll pretend that this is a two-team division and that the other two teams have been relegated to the subpar Canadian Football League. Now for some rapid-fire playoff seeding. In the NFC, I have, in descending order, the Packers, Cardinals, Redskins, Falcons, Panthers, and Seahawks. In the AFC, I have the Chiefs, Bengals, Jets, Texans, Steelers, and Patriots. You're probably asking yourself why I picked and sequenced these teams in this order. Unlike high school algebra, I'm not showing any of my work, so deal with it. Onward to the Super Bowl. I have the Packers and Patriots battling for the Vince Lombardi Trophy, with the Packers coming out on top. Why? Because Jordan Rodgers, Aaron's brother, recently won the Bachelorette, and if Aaron is like every other brother in America, he's going to do everything in his power to diminish his younger siblings' accomplishments by trumping them in every conceivable way. And the Packers, if they remain healthy, should be the team to beat in the NFL this season. And Jojo should have picked Chase instead of Jordan, because Chase is from Colorado, and Colorado deserves to win at everything, including dating shows. Those are my picks. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you want more of my insight on dating shows? Tell us below and make sure to follow Dynamic Discussions on Twitter, Facebook, and don't be afraid to send us an email. We promise we won't spam your inbox with undesirable photos. And don't forget to watch Randy and Joshua's picks for the upcoming season. I'm sure they'll be more stat heavy and less Bachelorette heavy.